Alrighty, hello and welcome to a video of me talking about Destiny, the Rise of Iron. Now, first off, I want to say, haven't done the raid yet, and I'm gonna get into that during this, and I'm also I haven't really been playing this too much. Lately I've been playing it a lot because I wanted to make this video. But I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls. And thirdly, I'm not reading off a script, so I may stumble over words. Gameplay in the background is just gameplay of me doing stuff. So yeah. First of all, I want to say if you enjoy this DLC, awesome. That's really good. Really good if you enjoy this DLC. I'm extremely disappointed though. This is extremely bad. Well, it's not bad, but let's just say it's kind of been sort of a failure. At least in my opinion. Once again, I haven't done the raid, and I'll get more into that. But first of all, like content-wise, it's very lackluster. I have watched gameplay, and I have seen quite a bit of the raid, and from what I've seen, it's not all that good. I was actually looking around on the internet, and I saw somebody saying that this is as good as King's Fall. Which I find kind of weird because King's Fall was one of the worst raids in my opinion. I'd say the worst was definitely Crota's End, considering how buggy it was. I think the raid was quite fun, but just way too many glitches. So yeah, content-wise, it's fairly lackluster. When the DLC came out, I had stuff to do that day. I didn't have much time to play. And I originally woke up playing Dark Souls 2, and then I realized, shit, I need to start playing the DLC. And I did do that. I played some of the DLC, and I was like, alright, I only have like a couple hours to do this. And, I think it took me about 3 hours to get the Yalahorn in Gavostov. I mean that, Yalahorn, since I started playing, as soon as I started playing the DLC, it only took me a couple hours to get the Yalahorn. That's extremely disappointing. And that's quite saddening because, you know, the Yalahorn is like a legendary weapon. They even say that. Like, they say that the Yalahorn is a legendary weapon. You know, you have to collect all the pieces and put it back together, then you have to build it and do all this cool shit. And I'm not saying this like, oh, the weapon's bad. Compared to its year 1 version, nowhere near as good. But it still is one of the best weapons. Compared to the Sleeper Simulant, definitely I would prefer Yalahorn. But it shouldn't take that little of time to do pretty much everything. So there was only, I think there's only 5 missions in total on like the story, and then exotic quests. There's a few more, but I don't exactly have the number. I haven't done the Thorn quest, or, well, I haven't done the raid, so I haven't gotten the Outbreak Prime. So there's 2 quests that I haven't done yet. So yeah, story-wise, it's very lackluster compared to The Taken King, in my opinion. And I know The Taken King didn't exactly have like a long story either, but definitely it had much more in it. And, well, just in general, yeah, it had much more in the DLC. And I mean, it lasted the community about a year. So, yeah. Though it got very boring at the end. And now to talk about some more stuff upon the content. So the light leveling was glitched for a little bit. At least stuff wasn't dropping at proper levels for a little while, and this forced players to start farming Omnigul, a strike in year 1. It's year 3, and people were farming a strike from year 1. That's bad. If you want to create a new DLC, don't force players to go and play old content that we have already played so many times. And I know they fixed this glitch, and that, in my opinion, has... God damn it. Sorry about that. But there you go. I finally turned on the audio. I feel like that has made it worse, because it basically forces players to do the raid now, and I've been trying to do the raid. I've talked a lot about the raid, and I'll get onto that in a little bit, but now that they force players to go and do the raid, there's no way to get your light level up for the raid. Currently, my highest light level is 353. I've been grinding this game. I've barely played Dark Souls, which, by the way, I've been forcing myself to play a game that I personally fucking hate with a passion because of how lazy and like how just poorly made they've done this game. But I would say that I love this game more than most people because I don't go off and lie about... I don't lie to myself. I enjoy the game, don't get me wrong, but I won't defend this game for no reason whatsoever. And so I haven't had time to play games that I really enjoy because I've wanted to do the raid. I am personally a raider. I love PvE. In my opinion, this game has very good gameplay for PvE. It's insanely enjoyable. I really enjoy doing raids. Only problem is that I don't have a raid team. I don't have like friends that I do the raid with, so I have to go on LFG, which I would say is a really big problem. Obviously the game can't do anything about that though. So yeah, currently leveling up your light is extremely difficult, and there's not really a way to do it. I haven't done the raid because once again I don't have people to do it with me, and I'm fucking, if I do it alone it's gonna take me forever. So I haven't bothered doing the Nightfall. I mean, last time I checked, Nightfall's fucking garbage anyway since, you know, year 2. So yeah, currently there's like no way to get your light level up effectively. And actually I have some gameplay after this strike, and basically you'll see. So before this gameplay I was playing Archon's Forge. Archon's Forge has basically no people in there. Out of the probably uncountable, but I would say definitely triple digits amount of times that I've ran into the Archon's Forge, I've only found two times out of those, like, definitely, like, out of those triple digits, I've only found a few people on 2 occasions. I think the most I've had is like 3 people. Obviously not including me, I mean like 4 people in total, 3 other players. Which is bad. But I walk over to Court of Orcs. Hey, there's like 6 people here. Once again, this is an issue that goes back to Omnigo. People were complaining about the lack of content. You know, the community wanted new content because it was getting extremely boring. And now they're forcing their community to go and play old content to play the new fucking content. That is terrible. You don't want that. You do not want to force your community to play content that they have previously stated we are getting fucking bored of. And one time, I'm not going to name any names, but it is a Destiny YouTuber who said that, like, the Rise of Iron was a last minute thing, that they weren't planning on making a 4th DLC, which is incorrect. They were planning on making a 4th DLC. 4 DLCs was in the plan, that they were planning on making 4 DLCs. And I feel like that's one issue too with the Destiny community, that we're way too, like, a lot of the Destiny community is way too apologetic for this game. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you love this game, if you enjoy the new DLC, even though how lackluster it is, that's completely fine. You know, if you enjoy something, it's because you enjoy it. There's not really a forcing to enjoy something, because then you don't genuinely enjoy it. If you genuinely enjoy it, awesome. That is amazing. I don't like seeing people get fucked over and not enjoying the content that they purchased. But for people that were, you know, disappointed by this, which I am one, it's kind of sad. So yeah, like, they've been forcing us to play old content while we've been getting bored of the old content. And it's not that, like, these people are, like, hypocritical, like, oh, I hate the old content, but now I'm playing old content because I want to level up fast. No, some may be like that, but I would say a majority of those players that did use these glitches, and, well, the Court of Orcs isn't a glitch, it's just simply how the game mechanics work. It's not just because they want to get to a high light level. They want to get to a high light level, yes, but they need to get to a high light level so that they can play the content. They want to play the raid. And for people that didn't do that, including myself, are basically fucked and not able to do the raid. So, speaking about raids, the raid. Um, the raid is kind of, it's, like I said, I haven't played the raid because I've kind of been forced to not play the raid, because I didn't decide to abuse glitches, and simply how the new DLC is, you really are forced to do shit like that. From the gameplay that I've seen, it's an extremely short raid, and the mechanics are extremely simple. Like I said, I haven't played the raid, which I know some people are going to be like, this guy ain't credible anymore. He hasn't done the raid. And yes, I haven't, but I've done a lot of research. I have looked around and seen how the raid is. And the mechanics are extremely simple. Most of the bosses are just damage checks. You know, it's fairly simple. I mean, not too bad of a damage check. You know, it's not like a Skolos, like with damage, or you know, Crota with Yellowhorn required, or Black Spindle required, or fucking whatever, you know. Whenever you get into these raids, you need a certain weapon that'll just nuke certain bosses. But its mechanics are extremely simple. Yeah, see, here's the Court of Oryx, and there's quite a few people here. I think, yeah, no, more people end up joining in. And it's kind of bad to see that. I know, like, because I've seen most of the damage comes from the Scorch, Null, and Shock cannons, the multi-element shock cannon, multi-element cannons that you get, and bombs. Majority of the damage will come from these, well, you know, these items. And other than that, you're going to be using the Yellowhorn for damage, which the Yellowhorn's easy as hell to acquire. Which, that's one thing that I can say. It's good that they didn't basically put a required system into this, that like the bosses are fairly simple and they seem like mostly just damage checks, but you know, pretty much the best weapon that you can get is behind a quest that you'll get fairly quickly. So that's pretty good. But yeah, raid seems fairly simple. Don't like how leveling is extremely difficult to do. And it's just, it's kind of saddening, you know. Like, my opinions may change. I don't imagine they'll change too much if I end up doing the raid. But, yeah, that's basically my entire opinion on the raid, that it seems extremely simple, the mechanics aren't that confusing, and most bosses just seem like damage checks. But the least that I can say is that at least they don't, you know, require you to get lucky and get good guns. Only have a little bit of time left here. I only recorded 3 clips. The raid exotic, extremely underwhelming. I've seen gameplay of it. Doesn't do that much damage for an exotic. I think it needs to be buffed, considering you need to fucking figure out an enigma in order to get it. Actually, it's fairly simple math. You could just get a calculator, but still, I don't think you should have to solve fucking a bunch of math problems in order to get a fucking mediocre exotic. So yeah, that's basically me just talking about the DLC. I may have missed a couple things. Oh, the design. I think the design is amazing. Weapons, The weapon skins on the raid weapons, very basic. But other than that, I think, you know, I think it's nice, and that's the end of my gameplay. So you're just gonna have to look at that stock image, woohoo. But yeah, I think the raid weapons that you'll get, the models are extremely basic. A lot of people are like, oh, but when you fully upgrade it, you get Siva on it. The models are still extremely basic. They're not new whatsoever. Oh, hey, you have some cool red wires on your gun now. So unique. The design I really like. This is just my personal opinion. Obviously, gun models are basic. You can enjoy them. You can still like the models, though. You know, obviously, that's all your opinion. But the design, you know, snowy. I've seen gameplay of the raid once again, and I think just the whole design of the area looks really good. The armor looks amazing. The armor looks really fucking cool. The exotics, they look really cool. Other than that, though, you know, I think they definitely could have done more with this DLC, and you know, maybe we'll see some like updates to change around some things, and maybe we'll get new content with updates. But yeah, for now, we'll just have to wait for Destiny 2 to see what they're gonna do. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for listening to my opinions for almost 22 minutes now. And yeah, hope you have a good day, afternoon, night, or whatever time it is. It's been North Cobras signing off. Copy that. That was very cringy. I'm sorry. Goodbye.